Prince Andrew. He could be hit with another second sexual assault lawsuit from another victim of his paedophile pal Jeffrey Epstein. We already know that Virginia Giuffre is suing the Duke of York. Now a new law may allow Joanna Sjoberg to bring her allegations too. I need to stress, both of which he denies. But what happens next? Joseph Kotrie-Monson, who's criminal defence lawyer at Mary Monson solicitors firm on Fleet Street, specialising in sexual offences across UK and US cases. Thanks for coming on, Joseph. So the gentleman there in New York is confident that Prince Andrew will speak. Do you share his optimism? Morning.
I think that's a $64,000 question, Nick. Good morning, as the phrase goes. You're right. In this latest chapter of the Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein saga, we see that, first of all, civil proceedings are being filed by Guiffre. Secondly, announced in respect of this second woman who's been on the radar, certainly since 2019, and has been assisting the FBI, or claims to have been assisting the FBI in respect of their criminal case. Little is known about the extent to which she is involved in civil proceedings. The background, you're right, is that the statute of limitations, Nick, which prevents new proceedings even in civil cases after a certain time, has been temporarily waived under the Child Victims Act of 2019. And that's a New York law which has actually been extended to account for the COVID situation and delays. Now, these would be civil proceedings, not criminal proceedings, in respect of both women. So we are not crucially talking about extradition requests. And what we are talking about, therefore, is proceedings which could result in either financial settlement, which would damage the prince if it was made public out of court, or a civil trial on the balance of probabilities, which would result in a finding one way or the other, and a finding against the prince in those circumstances, Nick, I think we all know would be absolutely devastating. Of course, there's no sense that a quiet settlement out of court is certainly the aim of Mrs. Guiffre. She says the powerful and the rich are not exempt from being held responsible for their actions.
Does the Duke of York qualify for diplomatic immunity, Joseph?
Well, in civil proceedings, he doesn't actually need it because there's no power for him to be compelled to attend, because this is not an action against him; it's an action against his money. This is more about the very first question you asked, really, because on the one hand, he doesn't have to attend, but there is the potential for massive reputational and financial damage if he doesn't. Do you remember he felt compelled to give that interview with the BBC for reasons of reputation in his own mind, but we all saw that came with its own risk. Perhaps what he decides to do next is anybody's guess. Not much of a lawyer's answer, I'm afraid.
Okay. Lastly, I think he has 21 days in which to respond. If he doesn't, can he effectively be fined, charged, whatever, in absentia?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't answer a civil claim, then judgment can be entered against you. It's a principle in English law, or UK law, I should say. It's a principle in US law. He is well lawyered up, with the best lawyers on both sides of the pond. That's the word on the legal street.
Always good to hear from you. The legal street from Fleet Street. Joseph Kotrie-Monson is criminal defence lawyer at Mary Monson firm. They're on Fleet Street. He specialises in that area.